Hello there, a very good morning, afternoon, evening, or whatever time of the day it may be to you. Yes, to you. Or you, the person watching this. Yeah, you. Not that, because that's just a flat surface, a white surface for my table. But you, yes, you, the person watching this. Have a very good whatever time of the day it is. Or I hope you have had a very good time of the day, whatever time it may be. Right now that I've finished bungling up my intro, let's talk about the topic today. And possibly for the next video as well, because I've been to the shops, I've bought a whole load of stuff related to the same general topic, which is basically art, or rather art supplies anyhow. So first up we've got a set of pencils, and you can guess where I've got them from. That's right, they're cheap from Sainsbury's. They're all kinds, 4B, 8B, 6B, F, whatever F might actually be. Tell you what, let's just open it up. Oh, hang on, there's the care and use instructions. Let's just see if I can get the autofocus to focus on this. No, it won't. Typical of my look. Well, colours may stain. Well, these are actually black pencils, so I suppose that black is a colour, of course. During all creative activities, we suggest children wear overalls and or old clothes, and that you cover furnishings and carpets. Adult supervision is recommended. Well, of course, if you are an adult, which I am supposed to be, after all, I'm somewhere in my 30s, then how much older does your supervision need to be? You're not too specific there. But let's just leave these for the time, because the next thing we've got is some quite ratty graphite pencils. Now the thing is, from what I understand, most pencils nowadays actually use graphite anyhow. It's pretty much standard. Rather than lead, because for one thing, lead is A, poisonous, and B, it breaks easily, whereas graphite is neither. So I'm a little bewildered there. These are from our friends at Bic, of course, who are well renowned for all kinds of different things, including, I believe, razor blades, although I've never actually used them myself. It's made in France, it's a product of the EU, it's recyclable by about 55%. And there's some sort of environmental logo there, and the number 4, which has absolutely nothing to do with the Fantastic Four. There's all the logos repeated. Ultra solid lead. Mine ultra solid. That must be French, I'm assuming. Well, we'll just put those to one side as well, because the next thing I've got to look at is colouring pencils, again by Sainsbury's, so it's their own brand, and it's got exactly the same warnings as you get on that logo. So note 3. Label paper writing recycled. You can see that right there's a whole load of different colours. Very nice if you're into colouring. And then, because I thought it was cheap and I need one, a metal rule. It's not solid, it's quite bendy, but not too bendy. And, I thought, why not? That should be quite helpful. And then I thought I need something to actually put them in when I'm off and about travelling, for example. And that did have a variety of pretty much the same general design of pencil cases, but this was probably the most attractive out of the lot. But it is, that said, still a bit bland, and the way it's actually put together, they just stuffed it up with this tube here, which you just throw to one side, and there you go, there's the inside, all nice and clean, ready for the life of grime it's going to get. Don't think I'll manage to get all of these in that bit. Then I suppose you'd just take whatever colours you thought were more appropriate. Well, let's just take a look at some of them. Let's open this bad boy up. Oh, there we go. It's actually got a foam back. I didn't notice this before, because I didn't look at the back side, but it's actually got a foam backing area, so that ought to be quite nice for going up and down without damaging the paper. And if you do need a more straight edge, you would just hold it down and draw that way. That's actually quite a clever idea. Although it might potentially, if you're using it against something that you've already drawn against, it might potentially smudge. It might potentially smudge your lines, but I suppose that's a bit of a risk you'd have to take, I suppose. Or otherwise just turn it flat like that. But it's got your standard 12 inches on the top and 30 odd centimetres on the other side. Nothing to say where it's from. Not that it really matters, but makes a nice sound. Yes, it could potentially cut somebody if you whack them with it too hard, and obviously it's too big to go in there. But never mind that. Right, curious about these bad boys, but I'm going to come back to them later. Now you've basically got these in a nice little wallet, which I suppose is probably going to end up tearing at some point, but that's alright. Oh, right. Whoops, I didn't see that at all. I just saw that it was stuck down on quite an invisible little strip there. Oh well, never mind. Right, so you've got your various different pencils all quite nicely sharpened. Let's just grab one at random and just see what we can get out of it. This is a B, must be B1. Fits in the hand quite nicely, as you would expect. And I'm just going to put all of these to one side because I've got an old friend you might want to meet the acquaintance of. My old drawing pad that I used to do some of my reviews on in the earlier days. Because why not? But I'm just going to... Ooh, what can I do? Let's tell you what, let's do a little bit of 2-point perspective drawing. So what you do in this regard is you draw your horizon line, and you'll have to watch out for me because I'm drawing at an odd angle off to the side here. You draw 2 different points, and from there they should really be on the horizon line, but we'll just go with it for the time being. You draw one line up here, and you draw another line from here to there, and you repeat the process downwards. Just do that a bit until you have a very rough line. Now I've just realised something. None of these actually came with a rubber of any sort, so I've got nothing to actually erase unwanted lines from, but never mind. As you can see, I didn't actually get these to line up quite right, but I can easily adjust for that. Now that I know where that centre line is, I can easily adjust for the error I've made. And there you go. Oh, that hasn't worked that well. Probably the under bit getting in the way there. But there you are. We have the very basic point of 2-point perspective actually coming into play here. I'm just going to do this and that. And there you have it. A very basic cube drawn in 2-point perspective, and if you draw the lines a little stronger and thicker here, and here, and here, and then repeat the process here, and here, and there, and there, and you get the more basic outline of the shape itself. So as you can see, nice little square. This could be developed into absolutely anything. Now remember, the horizon line basic stays put. Help give you a frame of reference. If I do this and just take my mark from that, then I've got a rudimentary door. And if I do this and this, just slide this into there, take that mark if I can find it again, then I have the basic of a window. Then I have the basis of a window there. So as you can see, it does work quite well, and this pencil does the trick quite nicely, just for both light lines if you're light enough and heavy lines without that much extra effort actually. So that's actually quite a nice piece. Now let's just check these bad boys out, because this is something I've been curious about, because they rattle around in a way that just sort of sounds like they're loose, but yeah. Here we go. What kind of strengths do these say they are? They've got what looks like a barcode in the middle, and that they're all made in France, and then they've got what looks like the same, sequential serial numbers. So that's 035136 there. No, 8, then 9, then 8 again, then 8 again. Oh no, hang on, they're all 8s. It's just the way the light is hitting off this, I can't quite make them out properly, and I doubt you could make them out easily either. But it looks for the most part as if though they are all the same basic pencil. So let's just see what we can do here. So I'll just go from here and draw another building, a neighbour's house so to speak. And there we have it. It's When I shake it like this though, it doesn't feel loose in any way. It must just be the rattle of the casing must have been just a bit off. How much heavier can I get these lines? Oh, quite heavier if I try. Right, let's just try this again. Absolutely terrible, but that's no reflection on the quality of the instruments I'm using. It's just a reflection of the difficulty of this angle. Well, it's nowhere near finished, but it does give you a good idea of what to expect if you use this sort of pencil. Just throwing a much higher level of skill, which probably pretty much anybody else on the planet will have when it comes to drawing over me. And you'd probably have a much better looking result. I'm just trying to get a couple of the pencils out to give it a little try here. And these are the browns. I think this is the same colour brown, so it looks like you get 2 of each of the different colours. And of course they'll shake, rattle and roll and get loose all the time. I'm just going to do this, just going to use this as a rough idea, just to get an idea of how good it'll look for doors. Just going to grab a blue and just see if I can do something equally nice with the windows, just to give a hint that it's a window rather than something else, because you don't have to go too OTT with this. Just enough to hint and indicate that it's supposed to be a window. Again, if I get one of the browns and just go over this, that just makes it a darker kind of wood. Now you notice on a couple of occasions I've actually gone over the edge there, which is a bit of a problem. But you can actually get pencils that colour things white. And there just happens to be one in here, although it's not doing that good a job here. It's more meant to sort of add a different sort of sheen and hue to things, so if I was to make use of it on these blue bits, it would change it a little bit, but not too much. Seems to be doing alright, but not perhaps to the level I would like it to be. Anyhow, that's just a very rough idea of what you can do with these pencils. And a ruler, and a drawing board, and some paper, of course. I'm going to put a link in below to a few different art channels I subscribe to, just to give you an idea of what you can really do with 2-point perspective. There's also a 1-point perspective, which is an entirely different ball game as well, which I'm not even going to try to touch on here because it's not really meant to be a dedicated art tutorial video, but that's why I'll put the links in below. Anyhow, overall, reasonably impressed. I just don't have the skill to draw at this angle, whereas the camera is basically pointed exactly where I would need to be to draw properly. But that's between the devil and the deep blue sea sometimes. You sometimes have to make sacrifices when you do these videos just to allow you, the viewer, the best possible view of the product. And my camera is crap enough to make sure that you don't get the best view of the product, as you can see in pretty much any one of my videos. But that said, I think I'll leave things here. Let me know your thoughts below, because I'm always interested in feedback, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.